www.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Yes, indeed. Good morning to you, and our thanks to Westside Decorating Center for sponsoring our program. Westside Decorating Center located at 5789 State Street in Saginaw. Expanded showroom and expanded product lines, including countertops. You'll find everything you need for home decorating at Westside Decorating Center. Later on, after the 10 o'clock news, we're going to talk to the coach of the Northwood University esports team that picked up 4 more national titles. And we'll find out more about that. At 11 o'clock, the Boys and Girls Club will be the subject of focus. But for this hour, we're going to have open phones, whatever you'd like to chat about. This is the time to do it. 989-752-6111 is the number to call. 989-752-6111. And we would love to chat with you about whatever's on your mind. And it's easy to do. Just pick up the phone and get it on, as they say. It's simple. Nothing to it. In the meantime, a number of things that I want to chat about. First of all, the headline is Shock Poll. Trump crushing Biden by 7 points in new ABC Washington Post survey. I think, first of all, let's be honest, it's way too early to think anything is right in polling right now because it's so far ahead, subject to change and all of that. But what's notable about this is that the poll is an ABC Washington Post survey, typically organizations that are more favorable to the current administration. But not this one. They give the former president, Donald Trump, a 7-point lead amongst those who would definitely or probably vote for one or the other in 2024. That is the largest margin. As a matter of fact, it's almost a reverse margin because for a long time, polls were showing that Biden would beat Trump. It also showed that Governor DeSantis, should he run, would have a 5-point edge. Not quite as good as President Trump, but still better than Joe Biden. And the big news is the main reason people feel that Trump would do a better job of handling the economy. That was the big issue. You know, Biden has announced his candidacy, and he's going to do more for the LGBTQ community and more for this and more for that. But people are looking at their pocketbooks. People are looking at their pocketbooks, and they're not happy. Even though, inflation has declined slightly, it's still expensive when you go to the store. It's still expensive when you go to the gas station. It's still expensive when you pay your home energy bills, the things that count. So the public, I've said this so many times, the public gets fed up and they make a change. We'll see what happens. It's a long way off yet. Scott is in Saginaw. He starts us out. Scott, good morning.
Hey, morning, Art. I'm probably wasting my time going over this list, but I'm going to try it anyways.
If you're going to do the list you've always done, yes, you're wasting your time.
Well, I just don't feel Democrats usually here. But I'll go over it very quickly. As far as this administration, when we go back to Afghanistan, they said, well, Trump left us no plan. So what did the Biden administration do? They just evacuated with no plan.
Right.
We have a Chinese spy balloon fly over the country gathering information for 8 days. They do nothing until outrage. Then they shoot it down. 2 days later, 3 weather balloons are flying over our airspace. They shoot it down. They have absolutely no clue to what they're doing. Then a few months ago, we have a bank collapse. We are told, well, Trump administration did this 3 years ago. So what did this administration do? nothing. They've watched not one, not two, but 3 banks fail and still haven't tried to address the problem. But my favorite is our Homeland Security when asked what's going on with Title 42. He says, well, we've been planning for over a year and a half now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make fun of the way he talks, but he said they've been planning for over a year and a half. When we get to the nitty gritty, what have they done? He said, well, we're going to put some places in other countries where people can sign up for sanctuary before they get to America. And the news lady said, well, how many of these have you opened? He said, well, we're weeks away from opening the first one.
Yeah, Title 42 ends Thursday.
Exactly. And they told us they told us they've had a year and a half. They were planning this. So their best plan, Art, is weeks and weeks away from implementing even step 1. The adults are in the room.
All right.
So, all right, Art, I'll talk to you.
Take care. Bye-bye now. And here's Russ in Bay City. Russ, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Well, it was all over the news this weekend, and I'm talking about the extremely violent criminal who died in a chokehold on a New York subway.
Mm-hmm.
And the uproar in New York over this, I mean, we got people jumping on the tracks and everything that are all upset about this. And what it reminded me of was a couple of years ago in Baltimore, there was a woman on a very busy subway train who for 40 minutes was viciously raped, and not one person did a thing to stop it on that train. And people were, well, how could people just sit and do nothing? Well, because that's exactly what the Democrats want people to do. And if you don't do that, you will go to prison. If you dare to stop one of their beloved violent criminals, you are the one at fault. You are the one who will be prosecuted, and you are the one who will go to prison for it.
Well, I think it's, I mean, the courts will straighten it out, but I just shake my head. I know.
I see this poor Marine going to prison.
Yeah,
nobody. And I hope it sends a strong message to anyone in New York. You see violent crime, you mind your own damn business. You close your eyes and you turn your head and you let it happen.
Yeah.
Because that's what the people who vote in New York want.
Well, that's a big brush. Not everybody in New York wants that.
Stop it. I'm tired of that. No. This is what they vote for. Over and over and over again. This is what they march for. This is what they protest for.
Good. I lived there for a long time, and I can tell you, not everybody in New York, not everybody in New York thinks that way.
I didn't say everybody does. I said the people who vote do.
No, first you said the people in New York.
No,
period.
I said the people who vote.
Well, that's fine if you're going to say it that way. Okay.
Yeah, that's who the people who vote in New York want. This is what they want. This is who they vote for. This is what they protest for.
You live with what you
get the government you deserve.
There you go.
All right. It's sad.
Good enough.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye now. And we will be back. We'll get to Paul when we return. Let me talk to you for a minute about my auto dealer. Now that I get to talk about him because I've bought cars from him for years. McDonald Ford in Freeland. But McDonald Ford wants you to know that they are now buying cars. You heard me right. They're buying cars. Now, here's what you can do to sell your vehicle to McDonald Ford. You begin a simple process. Take 7 photos of your car on your smartphone, and you send them to joe@mcdonaldford.com. Now, the photos must be of the front, the rear, the left and right sides, the car's interior, the dashboard showing vehicle mileage, and a photo of your title showing the VIN number. After you do that, you're going to receive an offer, and you decide. Payment is on the spot and includes all paperwork and lien release. So don't wait. Here's your opportunity to put cash in your pocket today. Tell your friends and family, too. They can do it. Send your photos to joe@mcdonaldford.com. That's joe@mcdonaldford.com. By the way, you mention my name, Art Lewis, and they'll throw in a free lunch with the deal. McDonald Ford, 6790 Midland Road in Freeland. They are devoted to helping and serving you.
Mornings were made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis or RA. Xeljanz tofacitinib is a pill for adults with moderate to severe RA when tumor necrosis factor blockers did not work well or could not be tolerated. Xeljanz can help relieve joint pain, swelling, and help stop further joint damage. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections. Don't start if you have one. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections like TB and do blood tests. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, cancers including lymphoma and lung, blood clots, serious heart-related events, tears in the stomach or intestines, and allergic reactions have happened. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of death. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, are prone to infections, or have ever had a heart attack, stroke, clot, or other heart problems, or swelling of lips, tongue, throat, or hives. Ask your doctor about prescription Xeljanz. Visit Xeljanz.com or call 1-844-XELJANZ.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Six Flags shares are rallying. The theme park companies reporting a better-than-expected quarter. Though attendance declined from a year ago, Six Flags charges more for attendance, and visitors were also spending more inside parks. Six Flags says the weaker attendance is because of severe weather in California and Texas. Tyson Foods lost money in its recent quarter. It's lowering its forecast for the year. The company makes the Jimmy Dean, Hillshire Farms, Ballpark, and other brands, though Tyson CEO Donnie King says the company's optimistic about its long-term outlook. Princeton Review and Tudor.com are now owned by a company based in China. The Wall Street Journal says the purchase has received regulatory approval 15 months after the deal to purchase the education business. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Jesse Kelly here. I'm not a financial expert, but I do look for solid investment opportunities for investment growth and protection against loss. I do know that putting all your eggs in one basket is not a good financial plan. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver with Oxford Gold is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Or you can buy precious metals and keep them in your safe. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Democrats just want to win the next election, and they're trying to do it with ceaseless money printing. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon. It is critical to protect your retirement right now with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word safeguard to 989898. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all. Text the word safeguard to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
All right, back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, and Paul is in Saginaw. Paul, good morning.
Morning, Art. Art, I'm calling in to offer some solutions to some of the problems we have in our world today, and I'll start out by saying this. If everybody in the whole country would turn in their AR-15 military-style assault rifles with the 30-round clips to the government for a tax credit on their income tax, and it's the government which will reduce a lot of mass shootings, not eliminate, but it'll reduce a lot of mass shootings, and then have the government turn around and send those weapons to the people in Ukraine so they don't run out of ammo and guns to fight the war over there. And if we have any left over, send some of those same weapons over to the freedom fighters in Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela so they can overturn those communist governments that they're living under.
And meantime, mass shootings will still go on in this country.
it'll reduce a lot of
I
them.
don't think it will.
It won't eliminate, but it will reduce a lot of them.
I don't think so.
So
people bent
why
on
not?
Because people bent on doing that will find a way.
Yeah, but they won't have 30 rounds to shoot. They might have 6, 7, or 8 rounds to shoot, which will reduce a lot of deaths and injuries. But they won't have 30 rounds to shoot. So
let me
it's
give
not
you.
going
Let
to
me
eliminate it, but it will reduce.
Let me give you a clue about that.
All right.
One of my pistols, for example, has a 10-round magazine and a 13-round magazine, and it's a small, compact handgun. I can load that and unload that in about a second and a half. So fine, you want to take away the 30-rounders? Good. Give me 3 10s. What's it going to save?
Well, you can still send some of those clips over to the government, get a tax credit on your income tax, and let them send them over to the Ukrainians.
Sure. Okay. Fine. You think that'll work, huh?
Do something patriotic.
Right. I think it's patriotic to carry, but that's beside the point.
Well, you don't need 10 or 15 guns in your arsenal to protect your home. You know, you only need 1 or 2 to protect your home, and you don't need a 30-round clip to protect your home. You can get by on, a 6, 7, or 10-round clip to protect your home.
Is that right?
That's my point.
Okay.
That's my point, yeah.
All right, so you're going to tell me what I can have in my house.
I'm not telling you that. This is all volunteer, patriotic volunteer thing.
How far do you think that'll get?
Well, I can tell you this: all the liberals out there are complaining about these military-style assault rifles.
I asked you a question. How far do you think you're going to get with that?
It'll have a lot of support.
How far will you get with it?
It ain't going to get very far unless
all right, thank you.
People volunteer and take action.
All right.
And the Congress and the president has got to say, we'll sign a bill that'll give you a tax credit on your income tax so you can get paid for what you spend on the weapons.
Not going to happen. You know it and I know it.
I don't know.
And it won't do anything. Even if it does happen, it wouldn't do anything.
It'll reduce some mass shootings. Because if you look at most of the mass shootings, they're done with these military-style assault rifles. And if you get them off the street, like they banned them before Bush got in there, they were banned, and the mass shootings were way down. And then after Bush got in there, the ban went off, and boom, all these mass shootings went up sky high.
Okay,
so,
fair enough.
There is statistics and records on it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Later.
Bye-bye. Here's Bob in Saginaw. Bob, good morning.
Yeah, this is first-time caller.
Glad to have you.
I'd like to lighten things up just a bit.
Sure.
On Happy Days, I watched the series, and I went to school from 54 to 58. It kind of really wasn't realistic that I thought, but,
but it was fun.
Yeah, Hollywood is Hollywood. And now, can I mention that our high school is having our 65th reunion?
Why not? Sure.
We don't have a date set, but our class of 1958 is having their 65th reunion, probably in August or September.
What school was it?
Mount Morris. And Mount Morris High School, and we don't have a date set, but the people running the main part of it, they're going to send postcards out to every classmate that
very good. How many people did you graduate with, out of curiosity?
Well, 103 plus 16 that we went to school with that dropped out, to get married, get jobs,
sure.
or whatever. And now we think we've located 49 or 59, and we've had about 8 that we can't locate, and the people running it figure there's only going to be about 20 there, including their significant others. But whoever shows up, shows up.
Yep. Well, you know what? I love this kind of stuff because it demonstrates no matter what's going on in the world and all of that stuff, life goes on.
Yeah, and so if anybody's listening, watch for that letter in the mail.
Sure.
And I'll give the date and time, and please come.
All right.
Okay.
Good enough, Bob.
Well,
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
All right, let's say hello to Carl in Saginaw. Carl, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Well, I'm going to get back into it for a while. You said a few minutes ago, Art, when the public gets fed up, that they will make changes.
I've said that many, many times.
Okay, well, we're seeing these shootings on the news every day. And sometimes you talk to somebody, you're talking about a shooting, and you're saying, no, I'm not talking about that shooting. I'm talking about this other shooting, because it's so confusing because there's so many of them. And I just don't, Art, let me ask you, do you think this is sustainable? That this type of violence, can just go on day after day, and the politicians are going to just say, there's nothing we can do.
Well, I think what we need to do is find reasonable approaches to the situation. And to me, one of the most reasonable approaches that starts with background checks is to figure out how to get around HIPAA laws so that we can learn if someone has had mental illness issues that were not adjudicated, because if they're adjudicated, they're in the record. But that's you talk to any gun dealer, and they will tell you the same thing. That is one of the flaws in the background check system. Now, ask yourself this, Carl. If I said to you, we're going to stop selling guns tomorrow, what do you think that would do to the crime rate?
I don't know what it would do to the crime rate.
Go up. Crime rate would probably go up.
They did it in Australia.
We're not Australia, are we? We're not Australia.
No, but
they don't have our constitution.
But they had a gun culture, and they thought that they could never get rid of guns. Or all we're asking is to regulate. All we're asking is to regulate some of these high capacity military weapons, and I don't see why that is so out of the realm of possibility that we can't do that. I mean, we don't allow people to have full automatic. We don't allow people to have rocket launchers. So why can't we say this is where we're going to draw the line? The weapon of choice seems to be, for all these shooters, assault rifles. They don't go in with a pistol and a bunch of clips.
Well, first of all, let me correct something.
And
all
those bullets from the assault rifle do a lot more damage than a pistol round does.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do, Art. Those 223 rounds do a hell of an amount of damage to a human body, a lot more than a pistol round does.
Well, I got news for you.
They're going a lot. They have a lot more velocity.
Well, I've got a 5.7 28 pistol. It'll match them.
I don't think so.
Well, I do.
Anyway,
I know. I shoot it.
To be the weapon of choice.
All right. Here's the deal.
Why can't we draw the line?
Here's the deal. Let me make a correction right off the bat.
Off the street.
Let me make a correction right off the bat. AR does not stand for assault rifle.
No, it doesn't.
But that's been the common term, and that's what everybody says about it. Any weapon is an assault weapon.
Same type of rifle, Art.
Any weapon is an assault weapon if you use it improperly.
Okay. All right. You're going to defend it, Art. That's fine. Then it's going to happen again tomorrow. It's going to happen again the next day. How long is this going to go on? And you're just going to make excuses for it?
I'm not making excuses. I'm just living by the Constitution.
Well, why can't the Constitution doesn't say, we can have reasonable laws. We've drawn the line.
Every state can. And they do.
So why can't we draw the line, no assault rifles?
You could, but in my opinion, it wouldn't change anything.
Well,
because
you
haven't
decided.
You haven't defined an assault rifle.
Well, you know what I mean.
Well, you know what I mean.
Rifle.
Any gun, any knife, anything is an assault weapon.
Let's just not do anything, Art. Let's just wait till somebody
let's find a reasonable answer.
Or there's a shooting here in Saginaw. Let's wait till there's a shooting at the mall in Saginaw or at a church in Saginaw. Let's wait till that happens. And
all right, Carl.
And maybe people will get upset then.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is.
Well, there's the answer. You don't know what the answer is, and I don't either. All right. Talk to you later.
Well,
I
think we got to vote in politicians who are going to do something, not Republicans.
Gee, I thought you had already.
Politicians who are going to do something.
Well, you got Democrats in there, and they haven't done anything. All right. Talk to you later.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye. We'll be back.
What's going on this summer at Peace Lutheran School?
What's not going on this summer at Peace? They have free week-long vacation Bible school for kids on June 12th through 16th at the school on Lawndale Road in Saginaw Township. And if your child needs fun and engaging care all summer, they still have some spots remaining in the preschool community summer camp starting May 30th. Just go to the Peace website to learn more about community summer camps or to save your spot for vacation Bible school. It's peacesaginaw.org. That's peacesaginaw.org.
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel, évidemment. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com. Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Today is the day. Today is the day you empty your garage and closets of your old tech. Today is the day you hang up on that dial-up modem. Today is the day you tell that old GPS to get lost. Because while Staples recycles old tech for free each and every day, today, during Staples' free Tech Take Back, Rewards members get $10 in Staples Rewards when they recycle their tech. Cut the cord on your old tech and recycle it at Staples. N617. Limit 1 reward per month. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/recycling for details.
If you could wave a wand and change one thing about your house, what would it be?
Hold that thought, but forget the wand. Home improvement isn't magic.
If you're a do-it-yourselfer, we can show you the tricks of the trade for remodeling and repair.
And how to not get fooled when you're choosing and directing a contractor. Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti. Phone in your fix-up questions here this weekend.
On the Money Pit Home Improvement Radio Show.
The Money Pit, Saturday mornings at 9 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. Back to our phones. Phil is in Reese. Phil, you're on the Art Lewis Show. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. Biggest thing I think with this gun control and all this stuff, I read the Tuscola County paper, and you'll see where felons are caught with ammunition, caught with guns, caught with this.
Yeah, and they shouldn't have them.
Fine, and they let them out.
Yeah.
And supposedly you get caught with a gun as a felon in Michigan or in the United States, it's 2 years in jail automatic. These felons are living a better life in jail than a large portion of the United States citizens are. I mean, they get air conditioning, they get 3 squares, they get cable TV, and they get internet because we're stepping on their rights. Just because you killed somebody, that doesn't mean that, that's the part that I don't understand.
Well, that's unfortunate because they tend to plea away some of these gun charge, requirements, and it's happening all over the place. I mean, and one of the reasons, and prosecutors will tell you, the courts are so full that they look for the avenue of least resistance to get a conviction, and sometimes it requires doing that. And I, as far as I'm concerned, if you're a felon in possession of a gun, 2 years period, then we'll worry about the rest of the charges.
That's the way it's supposed to be. Like, I read an article a couple of weeks ago in the Tuscola County paper where a guy committed, I added it up. They said he committed so many times this of, assault and so many attempted murders and possessions. And it come up to 184 years if they didn't put them all concurrent. So what they did is they gave him 2 years in prison and they put everything on top of it and they let him go,
Yep.
They don't serve, that 2 years is not supposed to be a concurrent thing. If you get caught,
it's over and above.
If it's a 10-year in jail policy, fine. They deal with that one, but automatically the first 2 years is supposed to be automatic. That's it. No questions asked.
All right.
And then, like I said, they live with air conditioning and 3 squares, and then the people that are living under these other, like a small apartment, they got less square footage per person than a prisoner gets in jail, and then we're paying for that for the prisoner.
All right. Good enough.
Okay.
Got you, Phil.
Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate the call.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye now. And let's talk to Jack in Hemlock. Jack, good morning.
Good morning. Hope you're doing well.
I am.
A couple of points. The Constitution, Second Amendment. I was always taught that was to protect the citizens of this country from a tyrannical government. Nothing to do with hunting. It was to protect us, similar to what was going on in England.
Yeah.
And if we don't have a tyrannical government right now, I don't know what a tyrannical government is. Second point, you want to see what happens when citizens aren't allowed to go to and own guns? Just look south of the border. Who has the guns in Mexico? Drug cartels.
Yeah.
The people, the citizens are defenseless, absolutely defenseless down there. And that's what would happen here. I'm certain of it. And
I agree. And listen, I'm going to go back to one thing you said, though, about a tyrannical government. Having a government whose policies you disagree with isn't tyrannical. Tyrannical is when they come knocking at your door, taking away your rights. That's tyrannical. And that's what the founding fathers were worried about, a government out of control. There are governments you may disagree with, administrations you may disagree with, and you can always vote the other way come next election. So I just want to clarify that, it's a little bit loose talk to call it a tyrannical government if you disagree with them.
Good point. Won't argue that.
All right.
Third point.
Yep.
the 223 AR versus a handgun. I own a 45 handgun that'll hold 13 rounds in the clip and another one in the chamber.
Yep.
And if I put personal protection rounds in that gun, that will do a lot more damage than an AR-15.
That's what I carry.
Yep.
And it's also in my collection. I have a Smith & Wesson 9mm actually hold 22 rounds plus one.
Yeah.
And it's no bigger than the normal.
Yeah.
But
pretty amazing.
You know, it is pretty amazing when you think about it. Now, I'm a target shooter. That's all I use it for, as well as my own protection. But it's amazing some of the bullets today. I mean, like I have a 5.7 by 28. Its velocity is as high as most rifles.
Yeah.
And it penetrates.
Yep.
So.
Nice guns.
All right. Good enough.
Thank you, Art.
Jack.
Have a good day.
Yep. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Take a break, come back. We'll get to Earl and Don when we return here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Frankenmuth Aerial Park. You're going to get half off of an adventure at the Frankenmuth Aerial Park. It's usually $43, but you are getting it for just $21.50. Fly through the air, swing through the trees, and challenge yourself on the aerial obstacle course. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, there is a course level for you. Head over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back, Up Singers.
Backup singers. So right before this important meeting, I get a text from EasyCater
Ding,
that the restaurant lost power.
No electricity.
And I'm like, are you kidding me?
She said sarcastically.
But EasyCater was like, don't worry.
No sweat.
They got another restaurant to fill the whole order.
The whole order.
And I was like, are you kidding me? But in a good way.
Inflection is everything. Problem with your order? EasyCater has your back with over 100,000 restaurants. EasyCater. Order 24/7 on EasyCater.com. We got your back.
When they're investigating, we can't stop watching. This month on BritBox, sit back, relax, and enjoy watching the detectives. Discover Britain's most bingeable mysteries, including the brand new season of Grace, the hit series based on the books by best-selling author Peter James. Unwind with the detectives you could watch all night long. Stream them all now exclusively on BritBox. Endlessly intriguing. Start your free trial at BritBox.com.
I switched to Boost Mobile and got a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Want to know the best part?
It was free?
Nope.
The fact that it's on America's largest 5G networks?
Nope. It's the ding.
Oh yeah, love the ding.
Right? It's all about the ding. It's the dingarooski, the dingaroner, the ring-a-ding-ding.
Unleash your power to save with Boost. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone when you switch. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
And the ding.
Limited time offer. New customers only. Available on select networks. 5G not available everywhere. One device per line. Tax excluded. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my outdoor magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
All right, we're back with you here at WSGW, and let's get back to our phones. Errol is next here on WSGW. Good morning, Errol.
Good morning. I don't know what Carl had in his orange juice this morning, but it's going to give him a stroke if he don't quiet down a little bit.
All right, we're not
I've
going to
never
talk
heard
about
him blow up
individuals. I've been through this. We're not going to talk about individual names again. That's done.
Okay. Okay. Resolution for the year. Well, that's fine. How many people did you graduate with?
1,500.
Well, do you know how many I had in my class?
Not a clue.
3 of us. And the ones that I had 3 that we graduated with. You know who had the party? The nuns did, because we were out from under their control, and they didn't have to put up with us anymore. But we could have held a graduation in a phone booth, and so that's my thoughts for today, sir. It's quiet.
Have a good one. Take care.
You stayed up all night watching, didn't you?
No, I watched I recorded it. You're talking about the coronation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I recorded it. I watched it.
Okay.
All
I
right.
thought you would. Talk to you. Bye.
Bye-bye. And let's talk to Don in Freeland. Don, good morning.
It's John, John.
Oh, well, they put Don down here. Okay, John, good morning.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, Art. Art, the last week on WSGW on the news, they were talking about a man from, I believe he was from Saginaw, but he was sentenced in Midland by a Judge Karras, and he got 300 days, and he had 6 felonies that he was going to court on, and he was waiting for a spot here in Saginaw for some, I don't know, like a probationary camp or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't believe he had like an assault charge, fleeing and eluding. I think he's had a weapons charge, and this judge gives him 300 days and then to a probation camp here in Saginaw. I just can't believe that.
Yeah.
Judge Karras from Midland did that, and it's like, I tried to look it up again, Art, but I couldn't find it this morning. But it's just horrendous, the charges that guy had against him. And he gets 300 days and then 5 years at this probation camp or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'd
man,
have
people
to look
from
it up.
Midland.
Not familiar with it, but I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, you look that up and your jaw hit the keyboards, I'm telling you.
All right.
It's horrendous.
Fair enough. Thanks.
All right, Art.
Take care. Bye-bye now. And here is Michael in Bay City. Michael, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
I just have one question for you. Maybe you can answer it. Maybe you can't. Have you ever noticed when National Rifle Association has conventions, there's no guns allowed?
Really?
Isn't that kind of like
I've
a
not
little
been
bit
to one. I don't know.
hypocritical?
I've never been to one. I don't know.
Well, that's what they always says. No guns allowed at their convention.
I'll have to look that up. I didn't know.
If that's not the biggest hypocrite I ever seen, then I don't know what it is. Okay, that's all I got to say.
All right. Good enough, Michael. Thanks. I'll have to look. That is interesting. I had not heard that before. Oh, well. Anyway, you took me surprised with that. I will have to look that up. I really didn't know. A couple of other things happening. This week, the president and Speaker McCarthy are going to sit down and probably not come to any conclusion on lifting the debt ceiling. And the House has passed a measure to raise the debt ceiling by 1.7 trillion, I think it is. But to do that, they also want concessions in the budget to reduce the size of the deficit. And the president has said, no, we're not going to talk about that. First, we're going to raise the debt ceiling. Then we can talk about reducing the debt, which means nothing will happen. Be interesting to see if they can finally come to some kind of term in terms of raising the debt ceiling and also reducing the debt and the deficit. The debt is a combination of all the deficits. Every time you have a deficit, you add to the debt. And our debt continually grows because we run a deficit budget. Somewhere along the line, you got to pay the piper. Somewhere along the line, it's got to stop. Can't keep the printing presses going forever because that affects you and me every day when we go to the store, when we do anything with our money. It's, it's just out of sight anymore. So the debt ceiling needs to be addressed. And we need to stop raising the debt so we don't have to keep raising the debt ceiling. But I don't see that happening. I mean, that's the ideal solution. I don't see it happening. All right, that'll do it for calls. We're going to take our last break this hour.
At the start of each season, you decide on which seed to plant. You consider the potential ROI. You factor the soil type. You find anything that tips the scales in your favor. And when it comes time to spray this season, make certain you find the right mixture that tips the scales towards a zero-tolerance approach to resistant weeds. You'll need a combination that gives you application and tank mix flexibility, as well as multiple sites of action that'll be effective beyond just this season. And when you mix Enlist One and Liberty herbicides, you'll get one of the toughest and most effective post-emergent control pairings against water hemp, Palmer amaranth, and much more. Together, Enlist One and Liberty herbicides is a combination that's mutually beneficial for you, your fields, your neighbors, and your operation for seasons to come. When united, resistant weeds fall. Visit Enlist.com to learn more.
Jesse Kelly here. I'm not a financial expert, but I do look for solid investment opportunities for investment growth and protection against loss. I do know that putting all your eggs in one basket is not a good financial plan. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver with Oxford Gold is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Or you can buy precious metals and keep them in your safe. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at Uma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
The Ramsey Show, weeknights at 10 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, that'll do it for this hour of the Art Lewis Show. We thank you for joining us. Coming up next hour, we're going to start out talking about Northwood's esports team. They've got 4 more titles they brought home. Talk to Cody Elsen, the manager and coach. And then, time permitting, we'll have open phones. Meantime, stick around for the news. We have news from CBS, the national and international report. Michael Purchase in the WSGW newsroom, and then we will be back with more on the Art Lewis Show.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Some of the shock is wearing off for shoppers who witnessed a mass shooting at an outlet mall in Allen, Texas over the weekend. Among them, Joshua Barnwell, who tells CBS Mornings.
The massive rapid gunfire began to occur, and at that point, I just shy of threw my friend behind a concrete pillar and got behind there myself.
Police say 8 people were killed before they took down the gunman. A source tells CBS News he had a patch on his clothing that read RWDS. RDS, believed to stand for Right Wing Death Squad. We're also hearing from people who watched as an SUV ran a red light and plowed into a crowd outside a migrant shelter in the border city of Brownsville, Texas. Myrna Arteaga manages the center.
Horrific. It was terrible. People were running to help them. The bodies were all over the place.
The driver is in police custody at a local hospital. Investigators are trying to determine if the incident was intentional. In New York City,
Hey guys, can you make room for her, please?
E. Jean Carroll has just arrived at U.S. District Court, where jurors are set to hear closing arguments in the writer's civil case against former President Trump. Carroll accuses him of raping her in a department store fitting room. CBS News legal contributor Rebecca Roife.
This is going to come down to whom the jury believes, which party the jury thinks is lying. I mean, it's quite as simple as that.
Mr. Trump chose not to testify. The White House is proposing new protections for stranded airline passengers. Here's CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The Biden administration is working on new regulations that will expand the rights of airline passengers. That includes airlines compensating passengers for those stranded for reasons within the airline's control. Meals and hotel expenses would be covered, tickets refunded, and frequent flyer miles awarded. This comes just weeks before the start of the busy summer travel season after so many flight disruptions last year.
Have a COVID test lying around? Check the brand. The FDA is recalling SD Biosensor's pilot kits over concerns of bacterial contamination. There have been no reports of any adverse health consequences or deaths. They were sold at CVS and on Amazon. Have you been putting away money for later?
Almost half of baby boomers have no retirement savings.
I'm retiring.
Only 58% of 55 to 64-year-olds have retirement accounts. And in the private sector, 57 million Americans have no options to save for retirement.
That's CBS's Jennifer Clark. The Dow is down 48 points right now. S&P is off 4. This is CBS News.
Find your next great hire with Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Liberty Bridge is your gateway to work, school, downtown, and the Midland Street Business District. Save time and fuel by taking Liberty to your destination. Avoid congestion at other local bridges and experience Bay City's newest, most reliable bridge, brought to you by local union workers and Bay City Bridge Partners. Tolling begins soon. For your passport to the lowest rates, create your account online today at BayCityBridgePartners.com or visit the Bay City Bridge Partners Customer Service Center at 300 Center Avenue in downtown Bay City.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Partly sunny skies and 53 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Fire officials in Bay County's Hampton Township are investigating the cause of a fire that damaged 2 homes yesterday. Crews from 6 area fire departments responded around 3 p.m. to the 2700 block of 9th Street, where a fire was raging in a garage. The fire was able to damage an adjacent house on Princeton Street. One firefighter was treated for smoke inhalation at the scene, though no other injuries were reported. Officials say a wood stove in the 9th Street house's garage may be what caused the fire. No injuries were reported after a high-speed chase and kidnapping in Saginaw and Genesee counties last Thursday. Police say a vehicle was traveling at a high rate of speed on I-75 near Cumberland and Holland Avenue in Buena Vista Township around 1:45 a.m., passing state police troopers who attempted to stop the vehicle. The driver fled the scene, heading south in the northbound lanes of 75. The driver led police on a chase into Genesee County, pulling off I-75 at the Clio rest area, where police were able to stop the suspect's vehicle and make an arrest. During the chase, 911 received a call from a passenger who said they were being held against their will. 2 passengers were released after the arrest. The driver, a 42-year-old Saginaw man, is charged with kidnapping, felonious assault, fleeing a police officer, and has several outstanding warrants. A Genesee County woman received a lengthy prison sentence for killing her infant son. 25-year-old Kisha Person was charged with murder for the November 2020 death of the baby boy. She pleaded no contest to second-degree murder and first-degree child abuse. Prosecutors say Flint police found the boy unresponsive and that Person had stopped for food before getting help for the boy. Person was sentenced last Friday to a minimum of 20 years in prison with credit for 904 days served. WSGW News Time 10:07.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Comerica Park is the place to be on Saturday, with a giveaway every Saturday home game. This Saturday, the first 15,000 fans get a pair of Javi Baez sunglasses presented by McLaren Health. Arrive early to get your sunglasses and enjoy the Miller Lite Home Run Happy Hour on the Comerica Landing with $5 food and drink specials. Get your tickets now at tigers.com.
WSGW News Time 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. The youngest son of Detroit businessman and philanthropist Dan Gilbert has died at the age of 26. Nick Gilbert died peacefully at home. He had a nerve disorder called neurofibromatosis, which caused tumors to grow anywhere in his body. Nick Gilbert graduated from U of M in 2020. The family started a nonprofit to fund the NF's research. National Travel and Tourism Week is officially underway, and the state of Michigan is eyeing a very busy summer when it comes to tourists. Travel Michigan Vice President Dave Lorenz says he expects travel season to creep back towards the heights they reached before the onset of COVID-19.
I do think it's going to be a very, very busy season because there's still a lot of pent-up demand, and as I mentioned, those international travelers coming back. So if you haven't made your plans yet, I suggest you go to Michigan.org, do some planning in advance, figure out what you want to do, and make those bookings now. It's going to be really busy. You don't want to be left out in the cold.
Lorenz is also taking part in a week-long webcast series with Tom Dalden of Under the Radar to discuss the travel season. You can catch each episode this week at 7 p.m. on Michigan.org and Pure Michigan Facebook Live. Families of Ariel Anderson and Alexandria Werner walked across the stage to accept the degrees on their behalf yesterday. 20-year-old Werner was a junior who dreamed of becoming a forensic scientist. 19-year-old Anderson, a sophomore, aspired to become a doctor. 20-year-old sophomore Brian Fraser studied business and economics. The university says Fraser's family received his posthumous degree by mail. WSGW News Time 10:10. I'm Mike Percha. Now here's WNEM First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Monday has a high of 65 degrees with a chance for afternoon showers. The better chance is going to be down towards Flint, although we could still see some of that activity up here in the Tri-Cities. For tonight, we'll have a low of 45 degrees, just that chance for showers lingering early, pretty much before midnight, drying out after that. We'll have a northeast wind tonight at 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting to 20. Then on Tuesday, we'll just have decreasing cloud coverage, mostly sunny by the afternoon with a high of 68 and a northeast wind on Tuesday at 5 to 10 miles per hour. By Wednesday, mostly sunny, 72, and those temperatures continue to warm. By Thursday and Friday, we're looking at temperatures in the middle to even upper 70s. High pressure, just talking more sunshine through the middle of the week. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Currently, we have 56 degrees under partly sunny skies here at WSGW.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Yes, indeed. Westside Decorating Center, 5789 State Street in Saginaw. Stop in, take a look at their new product lines, including countertops. They have porcelain, they have granite, they have quartz waiting for you. Everything you need for home decorating at Westside Decorating Center. Northwood University, that fabulous university in Midland, has something nationally to be very proud of, and that's their esports program. We're going to learn more about it today, and we're going to talk about 4 more titles that the esports team has acquired. And we're going to do that with the coach of the team, and we say good morning to Coach Cody Elsen. Good morning, Coach. Unmute yourself. You're muted. You're muted. Can't hear you. There you go. All right, now try it again. Not hearing you. That's not a good thing. Just a minute here, and we'll work on this and see if we can figure out why we're not hearing the coach, particularly since it's esports, and you would think that the coach would be easy to hear. Well, let us see here. I don't see it at my end, Coach. We're going to have to figure this out because you're unmuted and I don't hear anything. He's going to try something at his end. Every now and then, folks, this happens. You know, it's the nature of the beast. Let's see what he does here. And he's working on it. I can tell because I can see him. How about now? Let's see. Try it now. Can't hear you. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a break, and we'll see if we can figure this out during the break, and then we'll come back with Cody. Otherwise, we'll have him give us a call one way or another, but we're going to have this fixed. We will be right back.
It's been popping up in orchards and vineyards all over. Any origin theories, callers?
Oh, hey, yeah, it's Sevia fungicide from BASF, a category leader in disease control.
How do you explain these healthy crops?
Well, longer-lasting residual. Plus, it's built for current regulatory standards and prepared for what's to come, which improves crop marketing flexibility, so.
A fungicide that is out of this world? I knew it. Sevia fungicide from BASF. Or is it? Always read and follow link directions.
Update your doors with 11% off everything right now at Menards. Pick up a Larson storm door today and start enjoying the fresh air with a screen-away retractable screen. Right now, get the Royal Oak Midview with screen-away on sale for $239.99 after 11%.
News. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Six Flags shares are rallying. The theme park companies reporting a better than expected quarter. Though attendance declined from a year ago, Six Flags charges more for attendance, and visitors were also spending more inside parks. Six Flags says the weaker attendance is because of severe weather in California and Texas. Tyson Foods lost money in its recent quarter. It's lowering its forecast for the year. The company makes the Jimmy Dean, Hillshire Farms, Ballpark, and other brands, though Tyson CEO Donnie King says the company's optimistic about its long-term outlook. Princeton Review and Tudor.com are now owned by a company based in China. The Wall Street Journal says the purchase has received regulatory approval 15 months after the deal to purchase the education business. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Jesse Kelly here. I'm not a financial expert, but I do look for solid investment opportunities for investment growth and protection against loss. I do know that putting all your eggs in one basket is not a good financial plan. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver with Oxford Gold is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Or you can buy precious metals and keep them in your safe. One app, one call, and you pick your precious metals. That's 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Democrats just want to win the next election, and they're trying to do it with ceaseless money printing. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon. It is critical to protect your retirement right now with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word safeguard to 989898. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all. Text the word safeguard to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back, Up Singers.
So right before this important meeting, I get a text from EasyCater that the restaurant lost power.
No electricity.
And I'm like, are you kidding me?
She said sarcastically.
But EasyCater was like, don't worry.
No sweat.
They got another restaurant to fill the whole order.
The whole order.
And I was like, are you kidding me? But in a good way.
Inflection is everything.
Problem with your order? EasyCater has your back with over 100,000 restaurants.
EasyCater.
Order 24/7 on EasyCater.com.
We got your back.
You have the chance to win a special Mother's Day platter from Edible Arrangements and WSGW. This is a quickie contest. You enter now through Thursday, May 11th. On Friday, May 12th, the random drawing will take place to determine the winner. Enter online at WSGW.com. Look for the Edible Arrangements box in the upper left-hand corner. Enter once per day with bonus entry opportunities too. A Mother's Day platter that you can win from Edible Arrangements and WSGW? Make sure you enter online. Head to WSGW.com.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. We've resolved the video problem. We got rid of it. And instead, Coach Cody Elsen is on the phone with us from Northwood and the esports program. Coach, good morning to you.
Good morning. Sorry about that.
That's all right. We're going to talk about esports and electronics. And, of course, when you want it to work, it doesn't.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So tell us, I guess, before we get into the titles that the team just won, why esports? And, I mean, is it a profession? I mean, do the students at Northwood, for example, that are in the esports program and competing, what do they use that for?
Yeah, so the esports program is similar to like a varsity sport, right, at the school, football, basketball. So they're getting recruited to come to the school, and they're getting a degree in whatever major they want: finance, accounting, computer science, cybersecurity. But we do also have an esports management degree as well that some of them go into, because the business itself is growing from the operating the business side, not being a professional player, but the esports industry just surpassed the NHL in revenue, the professional side of things, and there's a lot of job opportunities available right now. So we're seeing a lot of growth at the school on the esports side. But obviously we have the competitive team, the varsity team, that really attracts a lot of people right now to the school.
Is there a better team internationally than Northwood?
No, I would say we're. You can make the argument we're definitely the top esports program in the world in terms of the competitive nature of it.
So let's talk about, when we talk about esports, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so esports is gaming, video games, competing competitively at the highest level. So, the best of the best that play games, if you will, to put it in layman terms, is just the best gamers in the world competing against each other, right? We compete online against teams. We travel around the world, travel around the country, competing against other schools. It's truly just kind of a mainstay in culture now. Everybody plays video games, especially millennials and younger. It's just pretty much everybody does.
And if I were a football player, baseball, tennis, whatever I played, I'd be practicing for hours at a time. How much practice do these guys and gals put in to be esports players?
Yeah, so at the college level, we expect them to put in about 20 hours a week practicing and playing to maintain their skills. To get to that next level of being a professional, which we've had now 5 people turn professional from Northwood, I'll be honest, they're definitely putting in upwards of 40 to 50 hours a week at least to get to that point. It's very hard to become a professional on the esports side, and you got to put in a lot of hours and make a lot of sacrifices because you're sacrificing a lot of your time for other things.
Can they make a living at it?
Oh yeah, no. The players that have gotten signed out of Northwood are, on, I believe the minimum salary for the league is $75,000 that they're signed to a year.
Oh,
wow. So they're making some, decent amount of money, and they get endorsements and sponsorships and all that stuff as well. So yeah, it definitely can be a career. It's definitely hard to pursue that professional career playing competitively as you're part of the career versus just joining in the, working in the industry, but it's definitely possible.
Well, Northwood is no stranger to titles, and you just came back with 4 more. So tell us what titles the team just picked up.
So down in Texas, we played in the Intel Collegiate Championships. We won for Rocket League and Overwatch. And before that, we just won the Counter-Strike North American Championship and the Overwatch National Championship for the official game in the league. And but we're at 8 titles now. We've kind of won a little bit since the last time you read the press release, but we also won the NACE Call of Duty Championship in Indianapolis and the NACE Rocket League Championship in Indianapolis. And then yesterday, back down in Dallas, we won the Collegiate Esports Commissioner Cup, which is everybody tries to qualify it. The top 16 colleges from each esport title go down there, and we won for Overwatch. We won for Rocket League in a game called Valorant down there yesterday. So yeah, we kind of keep winning, but it's all been preparing for our World Championship run in June to try to defend our title.
I was going to say, you have that title, don't you?
Yeah, we're the current world champions for college in Rocket League and a game called Valorant. And then in June 2nd, we go back down to Texas, and all those colleges from North America and Europe come, and we'll try to defend our title again for the Rocket League World Championship.
So, you mentioned these names, Rocket League and Outreach and all that. Are these the games? Is there a league for each game, if you will?
Yeah. So it's the way to break it down is think about it as how an athletic department is structured, right? So you have the esports department, if you will, and under esports you have upwards between 8 to 12 different games that you offer. So think of it as like 8 to 12 different sports an athletic department would have. So we have 130 members of the team, and they're playing, up any number of the 12 games that we offer, the 12 sports. So we treat each one differently. There's separate coaching, there's separate structure, and separate players for each game.
How do you coach esports?
Well, I mean, so
I assume you're a player.
Our players are so good that it's I have a little bit easy here. But yeah, it's mainly, so there's micro and macro, which is like your physical, like the actual skills you're doing mechanically with the keyboard and mouse, and then what you're doing to build like your inventory or goal or whatever you would want to call it. So a lot of times it's you're playing and you look back at what you did wrong, just like watching film, like for basketball or football. You're literally trying to find weaknesses in your game and what you can do better at the next time, and same vice versa as scouting your opponents. You're always trying to watch them play to see what they're doing and looking at their statistics and seeing what they typically play, because a lot of these games have different characters or heroes or champions you can play, but you really want to see what they tend to pick so you can be prepared for it. So it's not the same, but it's very similar to how you would prepare for like a football game.
If I'm watching a football game, I might know who the quarterback is. I might know who the superstar players are. Are there those standouts that are the superstars of esports?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we have, for example, at Northwood, we have some, if you looked at our program from the outside looking in, if you were a gamer, you would be able to recognize probably a handful of our guys that are just at a whole other level. And in the esports industry itself, you can definitely, you just know in these pro leagues who's the best and who's got the biggest following. And it's very similar.
How many pro leagues are there?
So pretty much each game has its own pro league. But from a franchise standpoint that are structured like the NBA, NFL, there's 4 right now, which is for the Overwatch League, the Call of Duty League, League of Legends Championship Series, so LCS, and the Valorant Championship Series. So those are like $20 to $25 million buy-in leagues to have a team in there. So you have to actually buy and own your team, and they have rules and standards, housing, health insurance, minimum salaries, and all that.
And so, from a college standpoint, does, for example, Northwood offer scholarships for esports?
Yeah, no, we do, depending on your skill. I mean, we pride ourselves in the fact that we'll take anybody into the program that wants to work hard. I'll never turn anybody down, because esports, from an intangible standpoint, you don't have to be 7 foot tall to be a center, right? In esports, you can learn how to play, right? So we never turn anybody away, but obviously, the better you are coming in, the more scholarships you'll be eligible for right away.
Yeah. And how many people at the university participate at the collegiate collegiate level, at the competitive level?
Right now, we have about 130 team members, and they all compete in various different games at Northwood.
And what's next for you?
Yeah, so we're right now setting our sights on preparing for the World Championship in June, defending our Call of Duty National Championship in June, and then the first ever Valorant National Championship is in Los Angeles in June. So June's a big month for us, so we're really gearing up for that right now. And,
how many players go when you go on the road like that? How many players actually travel to play?
So for Rocket League, we'll have our 3 starters. Well, for the World Championship, we actually the first time ever our junior varsity team, our JV team, actually qualified as well, which was crazy. So we have 2 teams going to that. So you'll have 3 players per team, a sub, and a coach. So 10 people for Rocket League, and then for Valorant is 5 people, a sub, and a coach, so 7. And then for Call of Duty, you'll have 4 players, a coach, a sub, and a manager, so 7. So typically it's, anywhere from 5 to 7 per team that travel.
In multiple games, you're traveling a lot of people.
Yeah, no, we were just down in Texas, and we had a bunch of games down there. So we had our last weekend. We had like 34 people traveling between being in Texas and Indianapolis.
And you came back with 4 titles, which is good. And then you got more.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, we'll keep winning. We're lucky. We have some very, very good, very, very good players, very, very talented players here that we've been lucky to get, and we're going to continue to grow the program and keep winning.
and do you see the professional side of it growing?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think it's still in its very, very early stages. To where I think the college scene and the industry itself is more stable than trying to be a professional player. But it's definitely going to continue to grow because the popularity of gaming and esports it's not going to go away ever. There's no way.
So out of curiosity, let's say the family of some of these players, can they be at home watching these games take place? Is there a way to see the games take place?
Yeah, no. So pretty much every game is live streamed on Twitch. Twitch is like the TV network of esports, if you will. And like we stream on our own Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Northwood Esports. But all these leagues also broadcast the games as well on their official channels.
So you can watch them then?
Yeah, no, you're able to watch all the matches. Yep.
Interesting. Well, listen, Cody, when you bring back the next titles, we'll do this again because I know there'll be a time down the road when you're going to bring back the next titles. It seems inevitable for Northwood. Let me ask you this. Who's your biggest competition out there? Do you see a school, right on your tail?
Not really right now. I mean, we have our rivals that we play a lot, which would be like Maryville University, Illinois State University is another big one that we're playing. One of our newer rivals is Ole Miss, University of Mississippi. We played them a lot. We had a really couple close matches against them. Winthrop University. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like schools in Michigan, like nobody's really close to us in Michigan. I don't really have any threats right now to the program, but they might, they could grow. But yeah, right now it's just those schools I named that I would say are biggest. Maryville's probably our biggest rival. They were one of the first schools to have varsity esports, and they've won tons of titles as well. And I think we've kind of taken the throne from them this year, but it goes back and forth with us and them.
So when you get to a tournament, you have a target on your back.
Oh yeah, I mean, when we were down in Brazil, I mean, the entire stadium was booing us. All 60 countries hated us, so we're used to it. So it's just the nature of it. Unfortunately, nobody likes the school on top. So,
well, listen, good luck, and we'll chat in the future to see how you're doing.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it, Cody. Thanks a lot. Bye now. Bye. And Northwood doing very, very well in the esports, have for a number of years now. And we thank Cody Elsen for joining us this morning, the coach and advisor to the team. And we'll take a break. And when we come back, it'll be open phones for the remainder of the hour.
Are you ready for new flooring but not sure you can afford it? Hi, this is Marianne from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. Get new floors at a price you can afford with Mohawk's Spring National Savings Event. Save up to 30% on select top-quality Mohawk products like Smart Strand and Everstrand carpet. Also choose from some of today's most popular laminate wood and luxury vinyl styles. During Mohawk's Spring National Savings Event, you'll get more floor at prices you can't beat. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
Planting is right around the corner. Did you remember to ask your seed dealer to apply Heads Up seed treatment? Heads Up is the best way to protect your beans against the onset of white mold throughout the growing season. It works by inducing disease resistance within the plant, and it's compatible with other seed treatments. Before it's too late, ask your seed dealer to apply Heads Up onto your soybeans today. Visit headsupst.com to learn more. That's headsupst.com.
Democrats just want to win the next election, and they're trying to do it with ceaseless money printing. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon. It is critical to protect your retirement right now with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word safeguard to 989898. There's nothing to buy. and no obligation at all. Text the word safeguard to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
If you own a small to medium-sized business that kept employees on payroll through COVID, you may have a big cash refund waiting for you. The Employee Retention Credit is a tax credit of up to $26,000 per employee. And now, more businesses than ever qualify. The experts at RefundsPro.com specialize in cutting through the red tape of qualifying for this government program. Most of their refunds are over $100,000. Even businesses that have received PPP funds may be eligible. And there are absolutely no fees unless you receive a refund. So there's no reason not to apply. If your business experienced shutdowns, limited capacity, supply chain challenges, or reduced revenue due to COVID, you likely qualify. RefundsPro.com has already helped hundreds of businesses. So don't lose the refund you're owed by missing the deadline. Get started today with a free 5-minute questionnaire at RefundsPro.com. That's refunds with an S, pro.com.
Inflation has pushed up the cost of just about everything, which means if you bought life insurance a few years ago, it might not be enough to protect your family today. Now is the time to get the insurance you need at a price you can afford. In a hurry? Don't worry. Call Select Quote now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's right. You can get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam in under an hour.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-613-8990. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now.
Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the midden.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
Looking to hit the beach in style this summer? Associates in Eye Care would like to invite you to their annual Sunwear Trunk Show Thursday, May 11th from 1 until 6:30 p.m. at their Saginaw location. They will have 25% off feature frames, lens discounts, and prizes. New sunglasses directly from the vendors to choose from, including Kate Spade, David Beckham, Fossil, Under Armour, and more. Plus refreshments, hot deals, and lots of fun. It's all happening at Associates in Eye Care on Center Road in Saginaw for their Sunwear Trunk Show Thursday, May 11th from 1 until 6:30 p.m.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Democrats just want to win the next election, and they're trying to do it with ceaseless money printing. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon. It is critical to protect your retirement right now with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word safeguard to 989898. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all. Text the word safeguard to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
I love being a part of the Action Team. It helps me help other people. It helps me feel good.
Being a part of the team always feels good. Go for it. Don't even hesitate.
For more than a decade, Major League Baseball players and action teams of high school students have been working together to train and inspire the next generation of volunteers.
Once you get there and realize how much you can change someone's life, it's one of the best feelings in the world.
Just that simple act that takes 5 or 10 minutes of your time is making a difference and is transforming someone else's life.
All-star Giancarlo Stanton and Chris Capuano join action team captains to make a difference in their communities. And you can too.
Just try it. Just go to one event, one action team event.
If we all show up together, that's what it's all about. It's not just one person, it's a group, it's a team.
It's been incredibly rewarding for me. It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
For more information, go to actionteam.org.
Public health has greatly expanded its reach. Once primarily dealing with water, infectious diseases, and sanitation, public health departments now treat health issues that are deeply embedded in our lives. I'm Marjorie McGinn, President of Women in Government, an organization of women state legislators. In reflecting on public health's many advances, we are thankful that public health departments have partnered with childhood lead poisoning prevention programs to study childhood lead poisoning and blood lead levels. Women in Government, an organization of women state legislators, wants you to learn more about how your local public health department is saving lives and money, and they assist in responding to local disasters while still fighting infectious disease. To learn more about state public health departments, please visit womeningovernment.org/public.health. That's womeningovernment.org/public.health.
Sean Hannity, weekdays at 3 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
Back with you here on WSGW and back to our phones. Al is in Midland. Al, good morning to you.
Good morning, Arthur.
Morning.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but the House of Representatives is the body of the government that sets the budget, right?
Well, they propose one, yeah.
Yeah, but they're the ones that where the budget starts the spending. Okay, they're having a problem getting Biden to the bargaining table to cut the spending and decide the money and things like that. I had an idea where if they would remove $50 million out of whatever they're putting together for the budget plan and take it off the plate off of things that he wants to do, they'll get him to the budget negotiations pretty fast.
No.
If they do that every day, $50 million every day for the day that he doesn't come forward and negotiate, just keep subtracting $50 million every time he doesn't negotiate.
You're forgetting
for every
something.
single day.
You're forgetting something.
What?
It only starts there. It doesn't end there. They
I
can't
understand
unilaterally take $50 million away from his budget every day.
I understand that, but they're
Well,
the
then
ones
what do they
that
gain?
they're the ones that start the budget negotiation.
But that's it.
Not
They
the
start.
Senate,
That's
the
not.
House, right?
It's not where it ends. It starts there.
Right. I
They
understand
unilaterally can't do anything to his budget.
No, but the one that they're going to put forward.
Well, yeah. So what? They put it forward. It gets dumped in the Senate. And
They subtract $50 million from what they're doing.
that's fine. But so what? He vetoes it, or it goes to the Senate, doesn't
That's
get out of
fine.
the Senate.
That's fine, but
Nothing
if
happens.
it holds his feet to the fire. That
no, it doesn't.
Every day that he doesn't do anything, that drops.
He doesn't do a thing.
Okay, but all they have to do is say, we're not going to raise this once it goes down, and he's stuck.
Well,
if they hold his feet to the fire and don't go back up, he gets less.
So what happens when the debt ceiling expires and nobody signed anything?
That's fine. Let it happen.
So then what happens? What happens to you? What happens to what you buy in the store? What happens to your savings?
It's already happening to us. We got inflation. We got all kinds of problems.
Yeah, I understand that, but they're addressable. What happens when it goes away and the country can't pay its debts?
Well,
what happens to the dollar? What happens to your worth?
Yeah, but this will be the president that takes the blame for it, won't it?
Maybe.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. It's got to stop somewhere.
Well, I agree. It's got to. I agree. It's got to stop somewhere. But I really don't see First of all, we've been to this wall before.
I know.
And eventually they come to some kind of term.
Right.
I don't know what that term's going to be. It's a game of chicken. Who blinks first?
Well, Biden's the weakest president in my lifetime to be getting things done. He's done very little to close the border. I mean, there's all over the place that are blowing up on him, and he's not done a thing about it.
Well, his ratings, it's interesting. There was a poll. Let me find it here. Because it's who ran this poll. It was the shocker. ABC and the Washington Post. Now, neither of those would be considered conservative news outlets.
No, they're left wing.
Well, they took a poll, and guess what? Biden went down. He's actually 7 points behind Trump if they were to head-to-head today.
Yeah.
First time. And his ratings are 30-some-odd%. Lowest it's ever been, 36%.
And he's got to know that. He's got to know that in the White House that he is not doing. He's not.
I don't think he does. I think he thinks he's riding right on top of the world.
Well, yeah, he's being lied to.
I think he believes his own press.
I think Joe Biden is in the back of this.
No.
Susan Rice is gone.
He's surrounded by people. It's not just one person.
But they're all telling him what he wants to know and what he wants to hear.
That isn't the telling him what to do. Sometimes I wonder.
Well, anyhow, that's just a thought. I just get him to the negotiating table. Sometimes you got to do something pretty bold, and to me,
they're already trying it. They already want to reduce the bill, and he said no, he's not going to deal with that. So
then just go with my plan. $50 million every day he doesn't go to the table,
and it doesn't do a thing to him.
No, but take it out of what they're going to put forward for their budget.
But
and
that's going to. So what? No, it doesn't disappear. It's going to fail.
I'm fine with that.
I understand that.
They've got to back him into a corner on this. He won't do something.
Yeah,
they got to back him into a corner.
Well, they don't have the leverage. That's the problem.
I know, but I'm tired of this deficit going up every time. Everybody that gets in there spends more. We want the spending cut.
Yep.
We're serious about it. We're willing to put forward.
Some are. The other people have their hand up saying, government, what could you give me?
Well, stop giving me stuff. They didn't give me anything. I haven't gotten anything from COVID relief. So what the heck? I haven't seen anything.
You didn't get those $2,200 checks?
I didn't get anything. Not a dime.
Really?
Yep. I didn't get a dime from it.
How is that? Unless you made too much money.
Nope. I'm in a poverty level. I don't get anything from them.
No, you should have got that.
I don't even get that.
Twice.
Nope. Didn't get nothing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one dime out of this president helping me.
You're the rarity.
And he's costing me every day because of inflation.
Oh, absolutely. That I know.
I mean, that makes more than makes up for even if I did get something. The inflation is killing me.
Yep. Well, you're not alone.
I'm not alone. You're right. And I'm sick and tired of it. Cut the spending. Cut the deficit.
All right.
Thanks,
We'll
Art.
see what happens Thursday when they get together. Yep. I don't expect
Have a nice
much.
morning, Art.
Yeah,
Bye
you
now.
too. Thanks, Al. Bye-bye now. Yeah, I just, listen. This dead horse has been beat so much. It's just every time they have to go to the well. I mean, the problem could be solved if they didn't spend more than they had. You wouldn't add to the debt, and you wouldn't have to raise the debt ceiling. Right now, I think I read the estimate is in the next budget, something like $1 trillion is going to pay just the interest on the debt. Now, that's $1 trillion that if we didn't have that interest, could be spent on programs, could be spent on infrastructure, could be spent on human needs and human resources. But no, it's going to just pay interest. And at least a percentage of the debt is held by foreign actors, some of whom we don't like China. But yet we continue to spend like drunken sailors. And if you crank up the printing press, you crank up inflation, which is what's happened. Imagine if you and I did that. If you made, I'll just pick a number out of the air, right? If you made $50,000 a year after taxes, in other words, $50,000 worth of spendable income, disposable income. So you pay your basic costs, your housing, your energy, your food costs, the things you need to survive, insurance, all your basics. And let's say that cost you $25,000, half of your disposable income. So now you got $25,000 left to spend on whatever you want, as long as you don't spend more than that $25,000. You will have no debt. It's a wash. You spent what you brought in, but no more. Maybe even if you're smart, you'd save a little of that $25,000 for a rainy day. But if you're the government and you use that same example and you had $25,000 of disposable income after your basics, if you're the government, heck, you'd spend $50,000. You'd spend $100,000. You don't care. First of all, there's no law to prevent you from doing it, like there is in every other state in the union. Michigan has to have a balanced budget. Most states have to have a balanced budget. Governors have line item vetoes, but not in Washington. They spend like drunken sailors. And we pay the bill. And when I say we, I mean you and me, because they don't get money from any place else. Every nickel the government has comes from your pocket, directly or indirectly. And what do I mean by that? Well, directly is the tax you pay. Income tax, sales tax, excise tax, tax on this, tax on that, fees, which they call fees, which are taxes. I mean, if you buy an automobile and you register that automobile in your state, they call that a fee. If it comes from my pocket into the government coffers, I call it a tax. If you buy goods and services from anybody else, a company who pays taxes, indirectly you're paying that tax, because companies don't have anything unless you buy their services and pay for their services and goods. It all comes out of your pocket. But they spend it like drunken sailors. Let's see what Tim in Hemlock has to say. Tim, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Art. I just got to shut my radio off.
Yeah, you're doing fine.
Yeah, sometimes, wouldn't you? Most of the debt is owed to the American people.
A lot of it.
In form of the majority. in the form of Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid.
No. That's obligations of the government, but that's not. That's not.
That's part of the debt.
No, that's part of the deficit, which ends up in the debt if they spend more than they have. But the debt that we talk about is the people that own the bonds that are issued in the good faith and credit of the United States. That interest, that $1 trillion of interest, goes to pay those. It doesn't go to pay Social Security. It could if we had it.
You're talking about. I think we're talking about the same thing. When we overspend a good deal of the money that goes beyond what we've appropriated, is due to programs like Social Security and Medicare.
That's part of it. It's part of the budget.
Okay.
It's part of the budget. But the debt has to be paid for. The interest on that debt has to be paid for with money that otherwise you could use to finance those programs, couldn't you?
Well, we have a disagreement on the fact that most of the debt is owed to the U.S. It's not owed to China. It's not owed to Japan.
I didn't say most of it was owed to China. I said there are foreign actors who own a part of our debt, including China.
And that's actually the smallest part. The part is owed to us, our people here in this country.
Who own bonds. If you own bonds, yes.
Bonds. If you buy a bond and they say they're going to give you 5%,
right? Exactly.
10 years.
Yeah, so that's part of the debt.
Okay, that's a bond too. But what I want to point out,
just a minute now, a debt is a debt, regardless of who you're paying it to. A debt is a debt, and you have to pay the interest on that debt.
Okay, and I'm saying Social Security is a debt.
No, Social Security is a budget item. It leads to a deficit. It leads to a deficit.
One thing, Art, unless you do one thing, and this is what the Republicans would like to do. They want to cut those programs.
No.
They want to cut Medicare.
They don't want to.
You don't think so?
Here's what they want to do. They want to save Medicare. And in my world, the way you do that is to bring it in line with the actuarial tables. Let's remember that when Social Security came along, there were 10 people contributing for every person taking out of it. And you were expected to die at 66 when you got it at 65. Now you get it at 67 and you live to 90.
Yeah, probably less than that because it came out under FDR.
It can't keep up. It can't keep up that way. Something's going to have to give, isn't it?
Okay, well, tell me the give.
The give is you raise the age to start with. What's a realistic age considering the actuarial tables today? Hey, I'll tell you what, Tim, call back on a different day. I want to continue this conversation, but I'm out of time, so I have to go.
All right, Art.
But thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks. And how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out, like your social security number or password,
or you to become a victim.
LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to lifelock.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features. Uma? Yep, switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
All right, that'll do it for this hour. We're off to Focus. We'll focus on the Boys and Girls Club next.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Steve Kathan. There's grief, outrage, and a lot of questions after the mall shooting in Allen, Texas that left 8 people dead. Stephen Spainhour went to the scene after getting a call from his son who was nearby.
It was a war zone there. There's no way these people could have survived the assault of those weapons.
At least one was an AR-15 style rifle. CBS's Omar Villafranca says the gunman was killed by police, and now authorities are trying to determine the motive for the attack.
2 sources tell CBS News that the shooter had a patch on his clothing that said RWDS, and they believe that stands for Right-Wing Death Squad, associated with extremist and right-wing neo-Nazi groups. But investigators also say that they're trying to see if he may have been associated with the cartel or prison gangs.
8 people also died in Brownsville, Texas, when an SUV drove into a crowd near a migrant center yesterday. Police Lieutenant Martin Sandoval says the investigation's focused on the driver who tried to flee at the scene.
He's actually given us various different names, so it's kind of hard to identify him, but as soon as we get him to our city jail, he's going to get photographed and fingerprinted, and his fingerprints will be run through our AFIS system in order for us to get an accurate ID.
Well, closing arguments today in the civil rape and defamation trial brought by columnist E. Jean Carroll against former President Trump. Legal analyst Rebecca Royfee.
The plaintiffs here really have to prove, simply that it's more likely than not that this is what happened. So it's a much lower standard, but that said, a huge amount of time has passed.
Well, now to Ukraine and the preparations for a much-anticipated counteroffensive.
This army of underdogs is gearing up for a battle that could prove pivotal in the course of the war. Training at a quarry 15 miles from the front line. Call sign Zook is a high school history teacher.
You mentioned your goals and your purpose. What is that goal?
To come back home with victories soon, he said, and everyone will return to the normal life that we've all lost. Ukrainian troops are determined to win this war by the year's end. Charlie D'Agata, Eastern Ukraine.
A cancer diagnosis is usually more than just a health challenge. Kathy Bradley's study at the University of Colorado found patients dealing with mounting out-of-pocket costs and lower-income people facing a host of hurdles.
They were more likely to lose their jobs as a result of cancer caregiving and just encountered all kinds of economic issues that someone of higher income were doing the same thing, but they could absorb it.
Right now on Wall Street, the Dow is down 47 points. NASDAQ is down 23, and the S&P is down about a half point. This is CBS News.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
3 stores, 2 days, 1 epic sale. Cancel your plans because you do not want to miss the Maytag Store VIP sale for 2 days only, May 9th and 10th. You'll get the best prices of the season on your favorite brands from Whirlpool, KitchenAid, GE, Speed Queen, and more at all 3 locations. Plus, the Maytag Store is paying your sales tax on all in-stock appliances for 2 days only, including the outlet store. And as always, you'll have access to their certified installation and service departments to take care of you after the sale. So if you want to save money this spring, come check out the Maytag Store VIP sale May 9th and 10th only. All 3 locations will be paying your sales tax on in-stock appliances. 3800 Tittabawassee Road in Saginaw, 477 North Main Street in Frankenmuth, or the Maytag Store outlet at 7400 Gratiot Road in Shields. Experience the Maytag Store difference May 9th and 10th.
The Maytag Store.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask
Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Mostly cloudy skies and 53 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Police say 2 people were injured in a shooting in Saginaw early Sunday morning. According to state police, troopers heard the sound of gunshots around 2:45 a.m. near the intersection of Hamilton and Hancock Streets. Police say 2 men, a 25-year-old and a 26-year-old, were found injured inside a vehicle. The 26-year-old had reportedly suffered a gunshot wound. Both men were taken to a local hospital, though their condition is unknown at this time. Police in Mount Pleasant are asking the public's help in locating a suspect wanted for questioning in a stabbing incident. Police say a group of men got into a fight in the area of Broomfield and Mission Streets. A woman tried intervening in the fight and was stabbed in the back. A man was also stabbed in the chest. Police questioned the pair at a hospital on Saturday around 12:30 a.m. They say the suspect doesn't live in the area and had likely left. Anyone with information about the incident is asked to call the Mount Pleasant Police Department. The Saginaw Spirit have signed 2 new players following the 2023 draft. First-round pick Aiden Young and second-round pick Jacob Cloutier put pen to paper Saturday. Young, a London, Ontario native, says he's looking forward to next season after a few days of development camp and getting to know the city and the team.
You know, when I came here for camp and, got the tour around the city, I saw how good it is and, how good this organization is. And, I'm just really excited to get started here.
Cloutier from Ottawa says he's looking forward to playing against his brother Justin, who plays for the Spirit's rivals in the West Division, the Sioux Greyhounds. Both players say they're excited to be part of the Memorial Cup when Saginaw hosts next year. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Don't just like to lawn, love to lawn with the Cub Cadet XT Enduro Series. Head to Wolfile's Ace Hardware, your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer today, and see how the fastest growing lawn tractor is setting the standard for performance and comfort. Cub Cadet is delivering more strength, more versatility, and more durability in one lineup that now features bold new redesigns of the fully electric XT1 and the dealer exclusive XT2. The XT Enduro Series also offers extra tough fabricated and stamped decks, breakthrough cutting and bagging performance, incredibly responsive handling, and an ergonomically designed operator station with an adjustable seat for incredible comfort, all backed by strong warranties and the genuine parts, accessories, and trained service technicians only Wolfiles can provide. For expert advice, superior service, and exceptional offers, visit Wolfiles Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw. They want your trade-in. Get top value for your old mower for a new Cub Cadet today.
The sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. A man arrested for the murder of a young Michigan woman more than 3 decades ago has been found dead inside his South Carolina jail cell. Three Rivers police officials say Robert Odell Waters was found dead in his cell on Saturday, less than a week after he was arrested for the 1988 murder of 19-year-old Kathy Swartz. She was killed in her Three Rivers apartment about 30 miles south of Kalamazoo. At the time of the murder, police were not able to match a suspect with the evidence found at the scene. The Three Rivers Police Department is expected to make a statement after receiving autopsy results. West Michigan manufacturers continue to signal a slowing economy as Grand Valley State University closely watched monthly purchasing managers survey showed continued softness and increased caution. Brian Long of Grand Valley's Seidman College of Business says we are seeing a slowdown.
Our survey of the West Michigan industrial market for this month is flat, but both of our major national surveys of purchasing managers are flat as well. Hence, it's probable that the entire U.S. economy is flattening, but not yet sliding into a recession.
Long says they are well aware the office furniture business remains soft, and we had hoped that the pent-up demand in automotive would help keep the West Michigan economy afloat, even if other economic segments soften. State police are investigating an officer involved in shooting in Temperance late Saturday night. Police say the shooting involved an officer from the Monroe Post. A suspect was injured and transported to an area hospital. The trooper was not injured. There's currently no word on what led to the shooting, and no further details have been released at this time. WSGW News Time 11:10. I'm Mike Percha, and now here's WNEM First Alert meteorologist Matthew Monroe.
Monday has a high of 65 degrees with a chance for afternoon showers. The better chance is going to be down towards Flint, although we could still see some of that activity up here in the Tri-Cities. For tonight, we'll have a low of 45 degrees, just that chance for showers lingering early, pretty much before midnight, drying out after that. We'll have a northeast wind tonight at 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting to 20. Then on Tuesday, we'll just have decreasing cloud coverage, mostly sunny by the afternoon with a high of 68 and a northeast wind on Tuesday at 5 to 10 miles per hour. By Wednesday, mostly sunny, 72,